beating it like.
Hey everybody, Michael here. Welcome back to another video. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you guys got what you wanted. Today's date is December 25th, so by the time this video gets released, I am making videos on the boat because I just want to get some stuff out of the way, because when I come back, I just want to hit the upload button and I'm back in business. I won't be home for another week or two, so these videos are going to probably be old, but I'm still going to put them out just to show that I haven't given up the drive on YouTube. But I will be making a certain video later talking about the new changes for 2019, what we're going to be doing differently, and one of the changes is in this video right now. Write down in the comments below if you notice anything different, but we're going to worry about that later. So, what's going on, everybody? Michael here, and guys, I gotta say something, but, you know, I've told you so. I've told you guys for many videos that I've made, Apple is on the decline, and now they're at pretty much a very rock bottom. Their stocks are going down. It is at 150 currently. I remember it was at 232 a share. I know I always talk about the stocks, but the stocks ultimately is where people make their money. But that's also a key showing of how much value Apple has. Also, by the way, got my 3 triple charger. If you haven't checked that video out, check it out. I told you it is almost an equivalent to the Air Power Mat, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Apple. So look, Apple is fucking up, and they're going down a big, big tube, and fans are finally starting to notice. I have been waiting for this day to come for so long, and it feels so satisfying to see how Apple has become, from my experiences from the store to the products to everything, from the battery problem that they caused, they fucked up my phone, gave me a new one, but from just the way they treat customers, to the craftsmanship in their products, to their whole marketing strategy, to the prices, all the way down to the nitty gritty. Apple is finally starting to get the kick in the ass they should have had a long time ago. And you know something? I am so happy that this is happening to them, because this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call for Apple to show many things that people have finally said, you know what? We're tired of it. We're not going to stand up for your shit anymore. You want to keep up the way you're going? Go ahead. We don't have to buy your stuff. And you know something? I'm happy that the average consumer, people like you, have have finally woken up and you've said, to hell with it. So, good job, you guys. I am actually really impressed. So, thank you guys. And I'm being real. Thank you guys for waking up and understanding. But with that said, we got to talk about really the topic of this video. How can Apple turn this around? How can they get their customers back? How can they go back to the top? Because right now they're at a bottom. Now, obviously, Apple will slowly go back to the top, but these are just some of my personal things that I would like to put out there. Now, obviously, they don't have to listen to it because they have all the money in the world. It doesn't mean anything. My opinion means nothing, but I feel as a fan, as a person that has their products, I think it's time to kind of give my input and say what they can do to kind of get the people back. First thing they need to do, be innovative again. Apple has not been innovative in such a long time. The only innovative product that I remember ever having was the wireless AirPods. That was the only thing I can remember of the generation. The only thing that came out of Tim Cook's era. Despite an Apple Watch, the AirPods were very innovative. You know, you just open the case up, boom, and you have wireless earbuds that connect automatically. Those were pretty innovative, but again, that was the only thing. Then you have iPhone 10s, the 10s, 10s Max. The thing is, Apple needs to go back to the roots of what made Apple great. Is whenever they made a product, there was something convincing that sold, and it was also an innovation on its own. When Steve Jobs unveiled the first iPhone, it was magical just to see a giant hunk of screen being able to touch. And then every iPhone had other things to improve on, but these new iPhones have nothing that sell. Okay, it comes in a gold color, and it comes in a bigger screen. But, I mean, obviously, again, it is an S upgrade, so you can't really blame it. But even down to the processor that they described in the keynotes, they still didn't even make a dent. So, what Apple needs to do, they need to redefine their whole design. They need to reinvent their stuff, because the iPhone 10 design is garbage. Who wants a notch on the phone? There are companies that literally, I give credit where credit is due. You know, other competition are out there making things that are honestly better. Now, obviously, I've told you guys how they've stolen the notches, but there are very few phones out there that actually have some good designs and are trying to get rid of the notch. Samsung is one of them. Oppo, Vivo, these are Chinese brands, but they're all trying. So Apple, please redefine the design of the iPhone. Please, nobody wants a notch. Even if you make the notch smaller, it still is a notch. Like, can you, like, you know, do, I mean, I don't want to say steal Samsung design, but why don't you just make a whole piece of glass and make very minimal bezels, just like you did with the iPad Pro. Take that design, trim the bezels down even more since it's OLED display, so you could curve it and have it hidden so you don't see no notch. Work from there and build. Or maybe even work on sensors like Samsung's doing. Try to do something different instead of releasing a notch. That's one. That's just for iPhones. Now, laptops and tablets, obviously, they're always going to be the same. But removing the headphone jack on a tablet, that's a mistake. But that's another story. So first thing they need to do, get back to the innovation roots. That's one. Number two, and I think everybody can agree, stop raising the price. Apple, nobody's paying $1,000 for a phone. Granted, last year was different because it was a whole new generation, a whole new iPhone that was different from everything you had produced. And okay, back then you could be like, all right, fine. But this year, your sales have shown nobody wants the phones. They want the XR. But even the XR, $750, come on now. You could have put it at $650. Now, Apple, you know damn well people don't want to drop that much money. And some people don't even have that money. They could do monthly contracts and stuff, but what about the average person that wants to pick up a phone and just use to make phone calls? Some people also, you know, just want to use it for social media and stuff, but you're putting a premium hefty price on it, and every year it goes up and up and up. Just like the tablets. You've raised the price of the iPad Pro. That fucking thing already's got a problem on its own. We'll talk about that later. You make these products, and they're so expensive. Look at the Mac lineup. Can you name me one Mac lineup with the exclusion of the Mac Mini that you can give to a user that is just getting into Apple? Can you pick a product that is reasonable for them to spend with their hard-earned money? Can you give them a product that they can spend on that is very cheap, that's easy to affordable, and they can also get into Apple? I'll wait. Nope, nothing, because everything is over $1,000 in that store. iMacs, iMac Pros, well, the iMac Pro is for the pro-heavy users, but even then, you can build specs and still make a Hackintosh. But regardless of that, Apple, your prices are too expensive. People don't have that kind of money to dish out on a Mac. Hell, Windows is getting better at it. And look, Windows, I haven't used Windows in so long, but I'll be real with you, I feel like I want to go back to Windows because of just how I miss it. But at the same time, I also love Mac because Mac is reliable and fast. But the thing is, you're not making it easy for anybody because you make such hefty prices. So my advice to you, Apple, lower the price on everything. Not just iPads, not just Macs, not just iPhones, but even the accessories. Because your accessories break like crap. Look at the fucking lightning cable I'm using. I'm using an Anchor cable instead of your crappy wires. So lower the price on everything and give people like a reason to buy your products. Even the fucking HomePod. My God. Number 3, another way Apple can reinvent themselves is a very simple thing. Work on the product longer. Don't half-ass the shit. Now, just like they did with the HomePod, how they took their time to work it and improve a few things, you gotta do that with all your products. Look at the iPhone 10. I'm going back to the iPhone 10 because that thing looks half-assed. Apple wanted to put Touch ID in it. They wanted to have it under the display, but because of time, they decided to go all in on Face ID. But look at what the competition has done. They've done it already, Apple, and look how much better people are preferring that over Face ID. You could have done it. You had the potential, but you didn't do it. You half-assed it. You put a notch on a phone, and you put Face ID. Now, granted, Face ID is much securer, and I'll give it credit. It is a much easier way, but I still miss the convenience of using Touch ID. So, Apple, try to work on making your products perfect. Even down to the nanometer of a motherboard CPU or a chip on the motherboard. Just work on crafting your products perfectly. Don't make them half-assed. Look at the iPad Pro, which is what I was about to get into. The thing is bending. And you got YouTubers like Taylosif Tech saying it's not a big deal. Dude, you're a fucking dumbass. I get it, you're a sheep and shit, but dude, there is a fine line between being a sheep and being having common sense. If you are paying $800 for a tablet, it should no way, shape, or form bend in half like it's a fucking sandwich. Nothing should break if you're paying that. You should be getting perfect top-line specs for that kind of money. Otherwise, you could just go over to the Windows tablets and stuff. Hell, I even hate to say it, but you can even go get a fucking Google Pixel Book. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, and this is going to Taylosif Tech, please stop defending Apple when they're guilty. And I'll make a whole video about you in another day. I could go for hours about you because you literally know how to piss everybody off. But that's another story. And to be fair, I actually kind of do like you, so I can't really say anything bad about you. But the point is, for the money that you're paying for the Apple products, you should not be getting this kind of problems. So Apple, please rework on your products, work on the designs, and actually take care. Because look at these Beats headphones. W1 chip, we're on W3. Update them. And finally, the last thing that I think Apple can do to reinvent themselves, and I think this is probably something they should really be considering, they should be really open to working with other companies. Now, if you look at what they did with Amazon, they've allowed Apple Music to go to Echo, which is, I think, a HomePod killer, because nobody will be buying the HomePod from this point. But if you look at how they're opening to new companies, you could be something else. You could do different things. You don't just have to be limited into the Apple ecosystem. You could still get people into Apple, but of other means, like you did with the Echo. You let more people use it, you get more subscribers, and you let more people use it. Look at Apple TV. Apple TV is great. That's probably one of my favorite products from Apple, besides the iPhone. I love Apple TV, and pairing with the HomePod is even better. Personally, I like the HomePods, but I hate that price point. I know I'm going all over the place. This is a really hard video to do. I didn't really take the time to write a script, guys. So this is just going off of memory. And keep in mind, I'm also on a boat. But the point I'm trying to get is, Apple, you can get people into your ecosystem. You don't just have to keep it enclosed. Now, I'm not saying license iOS to other devices and stuff like that, but I'm talking small things, just like you did with Apple Music. You let it cross over to other platforms, other speakers. You work your way up, slowly and slowly. Like you did with Windows. You let Windows run on a Mac. That's cool. Keep working your way, getting integrated. Make deals with companies to share your stuff. Stop trying to make it closed, because that's how you're only going to drive people away. Let it be open. Hell, even make an app on freaking, if you want more people to buy HomePods, make a Siri app like Amazon Alexa. Make a Siri app. Now, obviously, everyone argues about Siri, but regardless, if you want people to use the HomePod, make an app that can let it sync from an Android device, get more people to use the HomePod, and boom, your sales will go up. Instead of limiting it to iOS or into Apple ecosystem, you're limiting yourself to sales, you're limiting yourself to fans, and most of all, you're limiting yourselves to success. And that is the key to all this. You're limiting yourself to success. You were so successful, Apple, you had your head so far up your ass that you were probably smelling your own shit. You gave no fucks about any of your products. You could care less what anybody said. But this year has shown people have woken up, they have seen what you're doing, and they're saying enough is enough. And you know something? It feels so great that I'm not the only one that feels it. So those are the only things that I can say that Apple can do to reinvent themselves and get them back to the top. Now, obviously, they don't have to listen to what I have to say, and they probably never will. But if you're an average consumer and you think that what I'm saying is wrong, you're entitled to it. And if you think what I'm saying I'm right, you're just entitled to it as well. Let me know down below, what do you think Apple can do to fix themselves? And tell me if you agree with anything I say. If you disagree, I want to know down below, because I really want to know what you guys have to say. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, what do you think of the whole new way of Apple? Do you think this greediness? Because it looks like fans are ready to give up on Apple, and I really hope that they can Apple, just please fix yourselves. It's not the fans that need fixing, it's you. So please, think of the fans first. Stop with the money. Stop saying money and profit comes first. Your fans is what builds your foundation. Okay? So I'm going to do it. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas. Oh my God. Merry Christmas and have a happy and safe New Year, and I'll see you guys in 2019.